Saturday is usually a difficult day on a new server because it's not established what the pecking order is for different guilds. If you check the guilds, usually there is a strongest guild and the second strongest guild, and the second strongest guild sometimes doesn't accept its position, which means that you go to the Dragon Utopia, which is in the middle, and there is a fight for the middle. Now, we were somewhat lucky today because at around 6 a.m. or so, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., I went to the middle, I kicked out the opponent guild's player who was there, and that player was online, and I saw that that player almost immediately chose to just go to one of the other castles. So here we were lucky because there is still fights going on and we were not involved. Given that I wanted to save movement points, I just took the 20 health hit and stayed and saw for about like 5-10 minutes what is going on, then I went back to sleep. But if there was like more fight going on, in that case it would be sane to just stay in the castle right here. Because if you didn't stay there and you went to the Dragon Utopia and there is fight and you were one of the players kicked out, that would be quite bad. You see that now opponents or other guild members are defending the Utopia. This is amazing. But if it didn't happen, it would be a problem. Now, let's also see what's going on the third week. To be exact, it's day 16. What happens on day 16? On day 16, usually you reach level 6 in the guild, which means that you can get to this tunnel. And you also get level 48, which means that you have access to the guild commander. Both of these are important. First thing you do is you check these usual spots where the bosses are. I've collected everything because the guild is kind of diligent. If you didn't, you would be able to teleport behind the boss, which means that you go next to the boss, you find an empty location and you teleport there. It's not always possible because, for example, in this boss area, I cannot show it to you anymore because it's defeated. In this boss area, there are no spaces to teleport to. So you will need another skill called resource collection. But in order to get that resource collection skill, you have to go to the Guild Miracle, use your cubes, these purple cubes, and level up these skills to level 2. Level up the skills uniformly because you need to upgrade your level. Here it's +6 level, which means that like 1 + 1 + 1 and so on is like 6. After 6, you get this teleportation first skill. I'm not sure what's gonna happen in the next Ancestr's Blessing rank. I think they are unlocked regularly. So first the first one, then the second one. So you will need level 18, which means third level for each skill for resource collection. Then you can just stand in front of the opponent, the boss's area, and then just collect all the resources behind the boss. And then you don't need to defeat the boss anymore. So that's why we're using those extra resources. I'll show you what to do first. So you take 3 steps here, collect the resources from yesterday, and get the new daily mission to get this bastard who always wanders around and gets into trouble every single day. He gets into trouble every single day, that's given. Then you go up, and before entering this, you check if there is anything worth doing, for example, up here. Here you can see, for example, that there is a genie. That's like one thing possibly worth checking out. And you can also see that Saraxar, the strongest player, is not earning diamonds. That's weird. Oh, and another player is collecting our stuff. So let's quickly do the teleport. It matters because one of the options is that you go back to the town. The other option is that you go back and stay where you are. So you usually check it up front. Fortunately, the others defeated the second boss. And now we're gonna go to the third boss. We could also go to the bottom. Both are fine, but given that we're weak, we're incentivized to collect everything. Now Catherine is 3-starred already.
Lay waste to the enemy.
And I just don't care about missions, don't care about mercenaries either. I need mercenaries for other means. For example, campaign. I need all these for the campaign battles to get all the artifacts. So given that we have enough other players in the guild, I will just not spend mercenaries in here. Remember, the stronger mercenaries are needed in the campaign. So I'll contribute in whatever ways, I don't really mind. Not as if other guilds were stronger. And there is a chance that we will finish this month defeating only this player. So we do this 3 times in total. You don't have to be the last one to defend the opponent, you don't have to damage much, you just need to do your 3 battles every day. And then you continue by either the back button or the town button, depending on what you wanted to reach. And given that we have teleport, it is now possible to also teleport. So we're gonna go up. We will first collect this. And to shorten our path, we will move up with the teleport. 4 squares in total. And choose your path in a way that you maximize the number of things to clear. And here there is another teleport directly to the genie. And we were lucky. This is the first genie that we've got in 3 weeks. Not sure if this is luck or bad luck, but anyway. We got a genie. I usually collect genies, not as if I ever managed to collect 80 units, but it's not even an SSR unit, it's an elite unit. So it's difficult to collect this. Later you'll have an armor collection skill, so you don't need to move here. Now, given that we're strong enough, we don't need to get the armor either. Then go back to the town. And I'll do my usually daily. So if we had a teleport, we would be able to teleport here, assuming that there is no realm monolith here. If there is a realm monolith, then teleport doesn't work. Similarly, if you have a teleport left, check out if there is anything in here, because then you won't be able to use your last teleport to go to the underground. Very important. So now we move up because we've used all our teleports, and well, we can check all the realm monoliths though, so you can do 5 a day. If you don't forget it, it's not bad to do it. This is optimal as a resource. We need spell scrolls. And what about here? Optimal. Good. Then we go up, and this is a 4th realm monolith. Yeah, what about the other one? Okay, this time I'll just use gold. That other resource that we use for the exchange is too precious at the moment. So we teleport. And now we go this way. And there is now a trick. So first of all, check an opponent that we can defeat. I think we can defeat all these opponents. Let's defeat one of the stronger ones. Because if you defeat the stronger ones, there is a higher chance of completion with other members. Yeah, we managed to defeat the stronger one. I know because we are there in the arena. Luca is one of the better players, by the way. And now to get this Naga without spending any resource points in here, movement points, you teleport wherever you want to, preferably not to the quartermaster mission, but to the other one, to just look around. You check if you need to collect anything, and there the answer is a clear no in the area. Unless there is a tavern or something far away, but it's unlikely. You see, we've basically collected everything we wanted. So then you go back to the original and look at where you are. Without spending any movement points, we moved from the upper hex to this hex. So without spending any movement points, you can now attack this Naga. And these are little things, so if you want to gain an edge, this is a very little edge. So we got the 8 green crystals to up level skills. Now you can choose to spend 10 resources or 10 movement points to get this. It's fine. Now let's go back to the quartermaster and let's see where this bastard wandered to. And this is bad news for us because there is really nothing in the way. We can check what kind of monster this is, smart monster, so we could collect this at the expense of some movement points. But this is not the whole story. So you see that we're short on movement points and we need to keep at least 80 at the end. So why am I still moving? First of all, I have pathfinding, so I have 30 minutes where some of the movements don't cost any points. But second, we always have a free purchase here that goes up to 173. And third, even more importantly, if you go to the daily missions, if you move at least once, here it is, you get 100 movement points. Collect this before finishing the mission. So you go back, and now you have 273 movement points. So this will cover our path towards this bastard. And we can be grateful for this bastard because he keeps on wandering around, but gives us resources. I always choose resources. That's the most scarce thing that we can have. And now we can choose between two things. One option is that we spend 130 movement points to go left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This means that with pathfinding we need at least 2 to raid 20 diamonds. The raid is double sweet because the Funtime guild is I think is the third strongest guild overall. So this is one option. And the second option is that we go back to the town and collect things in our area. Now the question is, can we collect something that is worth at least 20 diamonds for us? We saw that there was not much in there. So sometimes I'm just tempted to make this run and don't even think about the rest. We need to plan this in advance. And given that those other resources were not that precious, this is exactly what I'm gonna do this time. Another option is to go back to the town, teleport back, and with 7 movement points you can go to any monolith, so the other castle as well, or other opponent's area. So, by the way, in the meantime you see that there is usually negotiation like within the guild, that players let each other take positions in the arena and then they take it back. So Sometimes they allow each other, other times don't. Up to you what makes sense. Now if this is within the guild, it's understandable, sometimes it's outside. There is someone joined the Spanish guild. Yeah, of course. Level 2. It's a bit late to start a guild, but anyway. So we do the 13 movements, and I think we've done the 2 pathfinding extras, so this means that we'll have enough movement points to still have 80. And this is the added bonus, because like 1, 2, 3, 4, we need 1 more. So if we get lucky with pathfinding, we're gonna get Cyclopses. Let's see. 1, 2, we got lucky. 3, 4. And then if we get lucky once more, we can get resources as well. Now we didn't get too lucky. And there is a dilemma. In the next 80 movements, if we get lucky just once with pathfinding, we collected this resource. Is it worth it? Otherwise, you need to wait 6 times 6 minutes equals 36. Now, if you don't have the discipline to wait for those 36 minutes in the most unlucky case, don't do this. I will show you what happens if I do this. I may get into trouble. And I didn't, because pathfinding already happened. So I collect this. And there is nothing else. I'm not tempted to take more risk. I'll go back to the town. We have 80 movement points left, more than 80. Always truncate the number to the closest 10 downwards. By the way, there is this map as well that we won in some competition. It's like some fighting fantasy, like a map where you get some instructions to follow where the hidden treasure is. And then there is an adventure in there and you need to choose your own path. I won't do this today. And I usually don't do this at all, because I don't buy these maps. So we go down to the underground. Then we need 4 movement points. 1, 2. You go in the castle, that doesn't take any movement points. Be careful, if an opponent guild is defending the castle, then you need to fight. Otherwise, because of teleporting back to the town, you see 100 movement points. And then you go up, it doesn't matter which square, and take the Dragon Utopia. Be careful. Don't do the same thing as what I'm doing if you're weak. Because if you're weak but you're still in the strongest guild, you need to hoard some movement points, preferably more than 100, sometimes even more than 200. And monitor what is going on, because if you're kicked out on a regular basis, you need movement to climb back, so you can do a lot less things in here. After a couple of weeks, these fights die down. There will be a lot less fights, there will also be a lot less guilds. And if you do this, then you just need to spend your guild miracle. I think it's now 600 to upgrade. Yes, it is 600. So choose the ones that you need the most, and then choose the rest. For example, making progress here, an endless inferno helps. You don't need to like do this to the teeth, 600, but given that now we have 1800, I did it like this. So endless inferno is important. Arena is very important. And what is this? Duel of Champions. It is somewhat important, but you cannot do much. Like, there are so many differences. This one is Glory Arena. It's not happening at the moment. Dragon City Power, Underground Battles. It doesn't matter because we're far too strong. And this one matters, Dragon Invasion. So we take the remaining 600. We leave a couple just in case we didn't have time for the Dragon Utopia in the future. Or not Dragon Utopia, the tunnel. And now we have 27 left, and we're on level 9, and we expect to collect 450 of these cubes a day. until we defeat the next opponent, which will take some time. So this means that we need 1,800, 450 a day. It means we're gonna be ready in 4 days, at the end of the 3rd week, unless we defeat obviously the boss. This is unfortunate, this is slow, but that's how it's working. One more thing that you can do here, always like donate gear technology, that's obvious, archery. So in here we have 51, we need to wait 16 hours to get the next 40 something arrows. Just talk to one player and exchange all 60 of your arrows. It's easy. And then you get 6 extra arrows, and that's how you get to the top. By the way, I'm close to the top, I think, of the archery stats. Yeah, 6,500. I didn't do enough trading, I did this a bit late, that's why I'm only 4th. And the top 2 are purchasing arrows, I'm not purchasing any. I mean, is it worth spending 50 diamonds for these? No, it's not. And I'm not even in VIP 5, so I cannot purchase at all. First 2 players do the purchase. Okay, that was it. This is how you play the guild.